So those of you that watched my other video, this was the one I didn't spend a lot of time trying to get running because the engine was stuck. So this one has been sitting forever, basically. Someone has taken parts off of it. Believe it or not, weird stuff like the fuel line is missing. The front exhaust pipe is missing. You know, that could mean very bad things, that it was basically a parts truck because the engine was junk. I don't know. The transmission is missing, but all the plugs looked good. But let me show you what we have to work with here. For some reason, I really like this truck, even though it's in really bad shape. 72, basic model. I don't think it's an XLT or anything like that. In fact, I know it's not. The inside has also been used for parts. You can see the dash cluster is gone. It doesn't look like anybody cut anything. There should be a main harness connector in here that I don't see for some reason, but it doesn't look like it's been cut. Speaker wire. The ignition switch is gone, so I'm gonna have to hot wire it. This is where the transmission was, so the inspection cover is gone. It's got a Spark-O-Matic radio. The steering is not that loose, which is kind of cool. Look at this, new vehicle warranty. This could be part of the original book for the truck. I'll have to check that later. Headliner is shot. Rear wheel's got air in it, probably the only one that does. I think the bed is solid. It does have the tailgate, not in the greatest shape. Ellis Motor Company on the bumper. These bumpers were sometimes made by local companies, and this one, Tullahoma, Tennessee. Okay, it's a custom. There you go. This rear tire has air in it too. Interesting. Probably the worst part of the truck, other than the fact that it's a parts truck, is this floor on this side. It's really unfortunate. Oh, look at this. Look at that. That looks like possibly the fuel line. Awesome. That's great. But that rust hole is really, really bad. And of course, we got some mice houses here. Love the West Coast mirrors. That tire's not coming back. So anyway, this is what I've got to work with. So if I'm going to try to do it right, I'm going to have to take my time. This thing is in bad shape and it's very badly seized. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all the plugs and I'm going to fill the cylinders with this. I've heard people use ATF, diesel fuel, kerosene, all kinds of stuff to try to free engines. But this is the stuff I use. I unseized my first engine in 1984, maybe? Probably 1984. Was a 1953 Buick Straight 8. This stuff worked miracles. But it does take time. It's not going to unseize it in an hour if it's really stuck. So first thing I'm going to do is pop the hood and pull the plugs. This is the first plug. Not bad at all. I mean, can you believe this is in an engine that hasn't run in forever? Of course, it's a little bit foul, but there's really nothing wrong with it other than a little bit of buildup. The actual process of filling the cylinders is pretty easy. If you can find a funnel that fits in the hole, just pour it in. This piston's clearly down on the compression stroke. Okay, that does it. Okay, now moving on to the next. These, I'm gonna have to mark these plug wires before I move on. I had 3 of these out last time I was out here, so this shouldn't come off now. This one's probably one of the ones I had out. It wasn't that tight. Well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it wasn't. Being a little tricky, so I'm gonna put the phone down. Here's the second one. Little oily, but not terrible. So in the second one, whoop, okay, that's full. Okay, that one's really full. So that one was clearly higher up in the bore, which is fine. On to number 3. This one, this is number 3, very carbony. So this was running really rich, this particular cylinder. This piston is farther in the bore, as you would expect. Okay. Okay, so here is 4. Not bad, but gas fouled. 5, which looks fine. And 6, like number 4, it's gas fouled, which is what I would expect. So now I'm going to hand thread the plugs back in, keep some additional moisture up, move on to the carburetor. Got the air cleaner off. It's always a good sign when these old trucks, cars, whatever, have the air cleaner still on them. It just keeps so much moisture out, but you can see that this has a lot going on inside. Let's open it up. Let's see what we got. It doesn't even want to open up. And there it goes. Okay, so we got some kind of old wasp nest and other stuff, but none of it got into the air cleaner. But look at how black this is. See that? That's soot. I find that very interesting. This thing was clearly running rich, but why is it sooty here? Maybe backfiring, and if so, that would be very bad if it was backfiring through the carb enough to cause soot in the air housing, the air filter housing. Got most of that cleaned out. Let's look at the carb. The linkage is free, at least a bit. Seems to be hitting the choke pipe. That's weird. Not sure why. Yeah, butterfly on the choke is okay. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Where is the fuel line? Uh-oh, the fuel line's gone. That's not a good sign at all. So we're gonna have to look at that. Okay, carbs checked, fluids filled up, engines filled up. The oil is very dirty, but nearly full. It's at the bottom of the E. So some of the fluid I put in the cylinders might drip down past the rings and into the crankcase. So I'll know when I come back that it'll be above the E on the word safe, which is fine. It's good that if it does that. I also checked under the cap. It looks fine. Okay, I'm back at the 72 Ford. From my other video, you may remember this one is engine stuck. I'm going to try to get it unseized. I've put mystery oil in the cylinders now. It's been sitting there for over a week actually. So now I'm going to see if I can get the engine unstuck. Last time I was here, I filled the cylinders with Marvel mystery oil, which I always do when an engine's stuck, and sometimes even when they're not. And now I'm going to pull the plugs out and put a wrench on the crank pulley, see if I can get this thing unseized. Okay, taking out the plugs. I didn't tighten them up, so this is not going to be a difficult task. There's one. Although I didn't tighten them up for some reason, a couple of them don't come out by hand. There's two. It's hot today. There's three. And all of them don't look so bad. They're certainly not worn. They're just carbon fouled. This thing must have been running really rich. Oh, it moved. It moved. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. It moved. With the pipe wrench on the edge of the pulley, it actually moved. So now I'm going to see if I can move it with this. Would be a whole lot easier. Yeah, no problem. Look at that. Now I'm going to see if I can move it 2 revolutions, which means the valves are, oh, I think I might have just hit a stuck valve. Let's find out. Okay, it's moving. I've gone half a revolution and it looks great. Look at that. Look at that. It's moving like new. Look at that. Did you get that? Almost got me in the face, but that means that piston's got great compression. Oh, this thing is free. Wow, this thing is easy now. Okay, I'm almost done with the 2 revolutions. It's turning so easy now, I'm just using a ratchet on it. Look at that. Look at how easily it spins. I'm practically doing it by hand. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. That's fantastic. All right, next, we're going to hook the battery up and see if the starter works. I'm going to have to jump it because there's no ignition switch. So I'm going to have to jump the ignition and jump the starter. Okay, so this doesn't always happen. A lot of times these things are just stuck tight. This has been sitting forever. So I'm super happy that it got stuck tight and really motivated to get it running. So we'll see. Battery goes in next and we'll see what happens. So I'm cleaning up the terminals to get as good a connection as I can. This negative cable is really, really bad. I'm hoping it'll conduct electricity because it's completely corroded here and cut there. Luckily it's negative, so it's not a hazard. This positive is really dirty and very worn. screwdriver. Okay. That didn't work. I'm gonna have to bypass this. I'm gonna have to bypass the solenoid. It doesn't, I can't jump it, and it's probably because the terminals are too dirty. So I've brought this heater hose thinking I might need to divert fuel or something, which I'm not going to need to do, but it's going to come in really handy here. If you check this, this is the positive battery cable, and there's no insulation left on it, none. So I can't put voltage on this, but I'm going to slide this over as a protector. So glad I brought this. Let's see how much I actually need, though. I don't need this whole thing. I need from there to here. Okay. All right. We'll try it without the jumper cables first, and then we'll go to the jumper cables. I'm going to see if it'll turn over by bypassing the solenoid. Watch out, don't stand there, because the oil's going to go crazy over there if this spins. Nothing. Nothing. Strange. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe here. Here. That will give me a replacement for the negative cable. Nothing. Nothing. Huh. Okay. That's happened before. I'm not even getting a click. Nothing. I'm going to try the jump box. This just makes no sense. That nothing's working. I don't get it. I could see if I got a click or something, but I'm getting nothing. All right, I'm gonna put this into jump mode and see what happens. Nothing. It's got to be the starter. There's nothing's happening under here, even with voltage direct to it. So I'm going to see if I can get the starter out. I'm worried. These aren't big bolts, they're 1/2-inch head. I don't want to snap them or it's game over. I got this one loose. Don't video this because I probably have plumber's crack. Yeah, I'm on it. You motherfucker, come on. Come on. Can't get any leverage. I need leverage. I'm trying to get this starter bolt out on the bottom without getting under it in the mud. And I was thinking, if my hobby was different, my life would be a lot simpler. Why am I doing this on a Sunday afternoon in the heat with the bugs? And I am because I love it. There's the crown jewel, right there. One down. I hope one to go. I don't know, maybe there's 3 bolts on these starters. I'll find out soon. Okay, start. There it is. Here's the starter. It's not stuck. That's a good sign. We got to find out why this thing won't spin. But it's not stuck. All right, I'm going to try to test this starter now that it's out with the jump box. This ought to kick in and spin. And it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Nothing. Nothing. That's weird. I mean, that's doing nothing. All right, we're gonna have to take the cap off the starter. Don't snap. Good. Good. Now you don't fuck around. Yeah. So I'm taking the back of the starter off to see what's going on in here. I think I'm going to find a mouse nest or something. Once this bolts out, just the back comes off and you get to see what's going on inside. Okay. It doesn't look bad in here, guys. Not bad at all. I don't know how much you can actually see there, but the armature does spin. It seemed to be stuck a little bit. Maybe that was the problem. It was stuck a little bit. Could it be that simple? Pulled the starter out, didn't actually have to get underneath, which was nice, but this starter's junk. I took it apart, tried to get it moving. It's not that dirty, it's just shot. So that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna have to rebuild this starter and come back to it. The old starter, it's too far gone. I spent a couple of hours on it and there was nothing I could do. So I picked this guy up. I'm gonna put it in now and let's see how that goes. It's pretty simple on this 6-cylinder. What's that? It's pretty simple on this 6-cylinder. It's just 2 bolts. And I've already got the first one started. All right, now the second one. That wasn't bad at all. Just got to make sure I don't drop this one. Well, that was easy. Quickest starter change known to man. All right, starter's in. I gotta get the battery. I'm not looking forward to another walk down that hill, that's for sure. Okay. I brought this. This is a new cable, very heavy duty. The one that was in here was so burned up it's not usable. I'm getting ready to hook the battery up. No solenoid, no nothing, just right to the starter. I need to blow the mystery oil out of the cylinders. So it should turn over. I'm hoping it does, and it should make a mess as soon as I connect this battery. Okay, that's not good. That is not good. Almost no oil came out. Almost none. Huh. Let's try that once more. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull this coil out. It's sitting in a way that I can't test it easily, so I'm gonna just pull it out. I brought one with me. That looks good. Yeah, that looks fine. It's to connect. That's not fine at all. Huh. Maybe the coil is bad. Yeah. I don't think this coil is any good. So I'm changing out the coil and I can hear gunshots in the distance. Very Tennessee-ish. Hopefully no one's angry that I'm up here. All right. Spare coil's going in. Okay. This goes here. Plus is there. And we should be in business. I don't see any spark. What is going on? I mean, that should be sparking. Oh, yeah. We got it. We got spark. Beautiful spark. Okay, where's the rotor? That's next. So we've got spark, so we're getting close. I'm gonna put the plugs back in and clean up under this cap. If this thing fires, it's gonna be loud. There is absolutely no exhaust on it, right off the exhaust manifold. If you've ever never heard a straight six engine that's wide open, it is a very sweet sound. Especially if the engine has a little bit of cam. It's about as close to a lion's roar as you'll ever get. Maybe we'll be able to hear that today. Rotor's on. Plugs are going in. We're getting real close. Got my gas system hooked up. I'm going to clean the linkage. You can get in here with the camera right into here. You can see how bad the cobwebs and stuff are and all this. This carburetor might be the next thing that causes us some grief. It's pretty bad. But it doesn't have to be mint, it just has to work. This choke stove, this pipe is in the way. That's very strange that that's like that. I'm going to pull that off quick. That's better. Okay, we got some pretty bad, we got some pretty bad fuel leakage. I gotta find out what's going on with that. Oh boy. Look at this gas pouring out of this carburetor. I mean, pouring out. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. It is pouring out. I don't know why. Showtime. I'm going to try to fire this up for the first thing, and who knows, forever. Let's put some more gas in. Woohoo! Yeah! Let's try the lights. Anything? Nothing? Well, I'm not surprised, really. Okay, let's get back to getting this thing started again. I think maybe there's two things going on. The float might be stuck, which it probably is. And the carburetor is leaking so bad, it's just not getting gas through the carb except through the throat. So I'm going to try the old trick of hitting the throttle, the carburetor body, to try to free up the needle and seat. worth a shot anyway. All right. I've got a little better fuel system rigged in to keep it running. Come on. Ow. All right. I don't know what this actually is here, honestly. What is this thing? We're gonna fire it up one more time. The carb is leaking so bad, we have to be real careful. So, but I am gonna fire it up and just feed it again with the gas bottle, and then we'll just shut her down and call it good. You know, it's been a challenge. This has been a challenging one, but all good in the end. Okay, we ran it one more time just to test the old coil, and the coil actually worked. So it's a running engine now. It sounds awesome. Yes, it's loud, but there's no noise. There's no smoke. I don't know if you noticed that. The exhaust was exiting right here, and there was no smoke. So this guy has a good engine. It's not ready for the crusher just yet.